You sure? Check this. All right, cool. You like sure? Positive. Welcome back, yet again, to another episode of the Gentleman's Club podcast plus a woman. Hey. This is epic.
I'm so sorry.
Are we trying
I'm
shit?
so sorry.
Are we trying?
That was an accident.
You don't hit this many buttons during an episode, my guy. Welcome to episode 38.
38 of the Gentleman's Club podcast. Please excuse my
No, that's just great.
my mistakes.
No, spice it up. This is your boy Cardell, reporting live from the Gentleman's Club basement. Whatever that was. Over there in the back is my guy.
Hi guys, I'm Zach.
For sure. And we yet again have a different face sitting next to me.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Hi Amanda.
Amanda on the ones and twos.
Social group. Hi Amanda.
That's funny.
I don't have a cool name like the previous
I understand.
host, yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
My name's Zach.
But you say it like, hi, I'm Zach. You know what I mean?
It works.
Yeah.
So Amanda, if you don't mind, why don't you tell us about yourself? Trust me, they can't hear that on the microphone.
Okay.
So
As
that's
baby's
fine.
crying. It's lit.
Yeah, so I guess
Real life shit happens. Like, fuck it.
yeah, so me and Ash have been friends since high school.
Facts.
Yeah, so we've been friends since high school. And yeah, I'm right now, I guess I can tell you a little bit about myself. I work with survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what I do. And I'm obviously a huge advocate for women's issues.
Of course. This is gonna go great. With
Yeah.
the conversations.
If I'd have known this was the lead-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just a huge advocate, like from my own personal experience and just women that I've, encountered in my life. And so I've kind of taken off as a super feminist,
Wow.
Okay.
radical feminist, I would say.
Radical feminist.
How radical?
Yeah, how radical?
No, I think I never want to tone myself down. I know that sounds weird, but I think I like being in your face about it.
Okay.
So I call myself radical because
Because you're a thug at heart.
I'm a thug, period. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I just really feel strongly about it.
Okay. I can respect that.
So going off of just that, I guess let's talk about women's safety in friend groups. Me and you were having a conversation off mic about how when you're in a mixed friend group of both male and females and how you can have a particular friend in the group that we classify as the creepy friend. Can you kind of expound on that a little bit?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, so I'm going to generalize a lot, but I mean, I think like in my own personal experience, many women in my life and me personally, every woman has experienced some sort of harassment. And when I say harassment, there's a spectrum of harassment, right? So like you could just be like hollered at in the street, or like you could be touched inappropriately at a bar, and then that could be at work or whatever. So every woman have experienced something like that.
Sure. Okay.
There's statistics on that, but I'm not right. So anyways, basically like I think in every male friend group that I've encountered,
There's always a creepy guy.
there's always a creepy guy. And I think in every situation when you go out, there's a guy, and maybe not in your friend group, but there's a guy at the bar that did something inappropriate.
For sure. Okay. All right. So
Am I saying things crazy?
No, you're
not.
good.
Yeah.
You're good.
No.
But check this out. I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I want to speak for
Not the creepy friend. Please
not the
don't
creepy
do
friend. No, but listen, there's a way that the creepy fan becomes the creepy friend. I've heard a lot of women say that if I don't like you, don't touch me inappropriately, don't advance yourself to me, don't address me, don't do anything like that.
The rules are different compared to if I like you, if I don't, compared to if I do like you.
And that's just kind of one of those things that, because at one point, I've been in a situation where I was like, okay, I'm definitely getting a signal that this is something that you want to do.
Yeah.
And I realized that anybody can change their mind at any point in time.
Right.
How how does that work from your perspective, from when a woman is feeling a guy for a second and then changes her mind, or if I like you, then you can do whatever you want. But if I don't like you, please don't even get 5 feet. Social distance. We're in a panorama right now. Please back up.
I think I think there's like a boundary.
Okay.
So like for me personally, and every woman is different, so like that's hard too, because I totally understand what you're saying. Some women, like, they like that, I guess I don't want to use the word attention, but they like when people are doing that. But like for me, like, if I do not know you and you are creepily dancing behind me, like, that is unfortunate. Like, don't do that. Like, that is gross and weird. True. Like, I feel like there's a difference if I know you and I don't know you.
Okay.
So I think, like, don't cross people's boundaries. And I think, like, if you are a person, you know when somebody is feeling you. You know when somebody's feeling you. But I think you should always, and I think that's where the consent conversation comes in, is like, you should always ask. Now, you can do it smooth. You can do it smoothly.
Your delivery is all on you.
Can I challenge that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. And I'm not going to generalize. I'm going to say some men are stupid and have no idea.
You're not wrong.
None.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
And it's not because the feeling isn't mutual, but it's because they didn't think that was a possibility, so they don't even look for it.
Disclaimer. I got a disclaimer. And I've been guilty of this 1,000%. Fellas, just because you get the nod doesn't mean you have to, wait, what I said? Oh. I was like, damn, I said so.
Yeah, separate things.
Just because you get the nod or the confirmation that she's into you doesn't mean you stop putting on the effort. Doesn't mean you stop being smooth. Like, when somebody notices the moonwalk, that don't mean you stop.
Right.
No, nigga, keep going. Like, pull the Usher move out too.
Okay, so can I say something? Can I say something really important? I think. Okay, so first of all, I want to just point out and compliment you guys, because this podcast has really, like, made me think about, because I'm like men ain't shit type person. So, like, I just want to say that, like, off, right? I'm that kind of person, and it's really, I've really tried to grow.
I tried to tell y'all.
Yeah.
I tried to tell y'all, women think we ain't shit.
Yeah, these are facts. These are facts.
Yeah.
But no, go on. She was complimenting us. Don't
I was complimenting you.
Don't interrupt again.
And again, I will make the same. I'm saying men ain't shit the same way we are talking about. I say F the police.
Gang.
The same way I say F the police, I say men ain't shit. Meaning the system is broken.
Facts.
The system is against you. And the same way, when I'm saying F the police, I don't mean every single police officer. I mean the system is broken. Okay. So when I say men ain't shit, I mean the system of patriarchy is broken. Okay. And you guys we are being affected, and so are you.
Wow.
Okay, so the thing of it is that this podcast has really made me think about males' perspective. Wow. It really has, and I really love it for that, because I think you guys have really put me on to, like, Amanda, maybe you shouldn't generalize, maybe you shouldn't say these things. Now I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna continue to fight for women's rights all the time, but
as you should.
I think that it definitely made me think about the way that the patriarchy has affected you all. And so one of the things I think that men are taught from an early age is that you need to finesse a girl that you like. And
no, that's a fact.
And women are taught that you need to, like, I think of, like, in Friends when Ross, like, goes to the airport and, like, gets Rachel off the plane. It's like, in real life, that is crazy stalker behavior. Bruh. But in sitcoms and things like that, that's appropriate. And so I'm taught, believe me, I've had many men, like, I block him. I'm like, why is he not DMing me now? You know what I mean? True or not true? Because I think that we're taught, and again, I know that that's toxic behavior. I totally understand.
The sentence that I've heard is,
you're being real.
The sentence that I heard personally was, after being hung up on, so you're not gonna call
me back?
Yes.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Or like when you say, when you tell a guy to leave, and again,
he leaves.
Yes.
And he bounces. Like, he goes all the way home. He didn't go around a block. But he went the fuck home.
Right. Can we both agree that men believe that they need to finesse, and women believe that men need to chase? So that's we
were taught that for sure.
Yeah, so
take that away from me.
So that's where the consent line gets blurred, because men especially in a sexual situation or a romantic situation.
I like
in a romantic situation. And again, don't get me don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, so in a romantic situation, men think like, she's playing hard to get. Like, if you really like her, you need to go for it.
The cat and mouse game was introduced to us.
Yeah, but I definitely think there are just plain creeps who's gonna do whatever it takes, and they don't necessarily get body language, or they don't care necessarily.
They don't care about the kids.
No, they don't care if I am not interested, because
we're taught that it's just like, oh, well, you just got to try a little harder.
Finesse.
There are women who, when you try to approach them, they could be really into you. I've had women that respond to me, you knew that I liked you. Fam, you were difficult.
No, I had no idea.
You were difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
I made a pass at you and you blocked that shit.
I tried to be nice to you. And it's like, where's your effort? Where's your competitive nature? And it's just like, all right, well, in the age of consent, I'm really not trying to be on that podium. I'm really not.
Yeah, but
I kept telling him no.
But the thing
bruh.
And okay, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not talking about like in a sexual situation. I think that's very different. But I think in a romantic,
just in general though, it's just like, yo, like you're around me all the time, like you're making me uncomfortable. But it's like there's been times when it was that, and it was just like.
But I know what you're talking about. I know the dudes that you're talking about,
yes.
and I have actually seen it with my own eyes, and I've actually had to check dudes before because it's like, nah, bro, she wants. It's like, dude, that girl doesn't know you.
Yeah, she's not feeling that at all.
And I don't really want to be associated with you when you being the creepy guy in the fucking club.
Exactly.
I think
so. Chill the fuck out, get a drink, and sit there.
Right.
I think
she'll come find you.
Right, and I think
she'll come find you.
I think the standard rule should be, if you don't know me, don't touch me.
That's a fact.
Period. And I think I'm not talking about just in a romantic situation, just any situation. Don't touch me. And I think, and again, I think when you are a woman, and maybe I can ask you this as well. When you are a woman, you've experienced this so much that it's tiring. So I mean, even when look, I know that I've heard a lot of men that probably liked me and that I disrespected time and time again, because I'm so used to being disrespected. Like being disrespected and like crossing that boundary. So like I'm all the way up here. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this question, because I know this is going through somebody's mind somewhere.
Yeah.
If I don't know you, don't touch you. I understand that. That's cool. But if I don't know you and I want to get to know you, how do I do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to say it from my perspective only. You know what I mean? But okay, so there's an episode on the podcast when you guys talked about the look.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, to me, I think like you can tell a lot from somebody's body language. Like if I'm feeling you, like I'm gonna make that look across the bar or something like that. And if you approach me, and I think you can tell by somebody's body language, like if I'm not really feeling you, like I think you're better off just walking away. Like if I'm feeling you, like I feel like I will make direct eye contact. I will, be flirty and things like that. That's
Shift
just
your
me
body towards
personally.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The feet thing, right? When you move your feet towards.
No, that's real shit.
I know. It's just funny because when you see it happen in real life, you're just like, oh shit, this is happening.
And again, I'm the type of person, like I make my intentions very clear.
As you should.
But not everybody's like that.
And that's
the problem.
That's my only argument. There are women who feel the same way as you, but then they're not. And it's just like,
well, it's comfort level.
True.
It's comfort to be rejecting in the moment. True.
And it's also the trauma that they've experienced. I think if you've been in a situation where someone has crossed your boundary or were able to consent or something like that, I think you're more defensive.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely am.
That's a point I haven't heard before. Or that it hasn't been brought up. Like, if you've been through something, then you are going to be more defensive. So that would actually make sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I want to ask you, like, have you had experiences where you feel like women have taken it too far?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
No, like I would love to hear an example, because I really want, because I think when we talk about consent, I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men too, and men don't speak up enough because of the stigma, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So there was a story I wasn't going to tell in the last episode of the podcast, but I am going to tell it here because it does fit as far as like consent and all that other stuff.
I get to learn more about my co-host.
Yeah.
So there was a woman that I was talking to. And we were flinging. And one day I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I told her, I says, hey, we can't hook up no more. Just kind of distance myself from her.
She pulled up?
She pulled up to my job.
No.
She pulled up to my job, and I went outside. She pulls up as I'm, or actually no, she's sitting right next to my car as I walk out from work.
Right,
and I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And it's the conversation I don't understand. You know, blase blase. Is it another woman?
right.
No, you need to go home. Don't come
This is
back here.
this is my place of work. You're jeopardizing my money at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Fast forward.
That's so inappropriate.
I'm paranoid now. The very next night, I'm looking out the windows.
Yeah.
I'm checking
Yes,
the
sir.
door.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
looking at the cameras.
Yes, sir.
Coast is clear. I walk outside. We close. I walk outside. I'm walking to my car. She pulls up as I'm walking to my car. And
Hold on.
I
I need a record skip. I need something. We need more sound effects for what the fuck you're talking
that's the
about.
wrong button. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that
go.
one.
There you
All
go.
right. So I, because I've already done this as politely as I can, I then flip the fuck out.
Right. As you should.
I will
Oh, well,
say,
I'm saying,
I will say
I
this.
mean, no hands, but like, yeah, like
No,
verbally.
no.
Verbally.
Never.
Yeah,
violently.
yeah.
I will say, I personally now.
But maybe
in
that's what she
hindsight,
wanted, right?
I do
Yeah.
not like how I personally handled the situation.
Yeah.
But I do still stand on the you should have been there.
Yeah.
Like it was an invasion of my personal space.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is not something that should have been handled in that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, obviously I've had situations like that, but I think, and again, I'm not saying there's a difference, but I think there is a difference between I'm afraid for my safety.
It's a different game now.
And that what I'm saying is for her, that is absolutely inappropriate and not okay. Like absolutely not okay. But I'm saying for me, like when a man crosses my boundary, I'm immediately like scared for my safety.
For sure.
Because I'm 100 pounds soaking wet. Like I'm a little tiny thing. So like,
And you don't know anybody's intent in that moment.
yeah. And I've been in situations where I was afraid. And so, and again, from a woman's point of view, I will tell you this, every single woman in my life have had a non-consensual experience. Damn. Every single woman.
That's fact.
In my life.
I know a lot of women that have.
That's a fact.
And a lot of women are afraid to open up about that, or they don't know what happened.
True.
All of those things.
True.
And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I don't think necessarily it's always the male's fault. I think there's that gray line. Now, there are people who are predatory and disgusting.
For sure.
But there's also people who, like I said, they're being fed this information that it's okay to show up at somebody's job if that means to get them back.
If you really love him.
And men or women.
Yeah.
Men or women. It's okay to do that because if they really love me, they'd be trying.
Exactly.
They would be going the extra mile. And I think it's the same concept in a sexual experience at the club, wherever you are. I think it's that type of thing is like, I'm really going to get what I want. I'm really going to go for it.
I have had to walk some of my female friends to the car. Not women I'm dating, but like women friends that parked in a different direction to me. I've had to walk them to their car because dude from the club is like
he's on it heavy.
He's like they're outside of the club. He's still following behind her, talking to her.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right,
and like,
I'm walking you to your car.
And he knows that's not okay. That's what I mean. Those are the kind of guys, and there's so many out there that that like they know that's inappropriate. They know they're crossing like hella boundaries. They know I'm not interested because I've made that very clear to them. So I think that's where those are the conversations I feel like, and there's so many situations like that happen that it's like it's too many men that are doing it, and men have to say something because I'm saying something loud and nobody cares. So like
the corrections have to come from other men.
Yeah,
it does.
I've been in situations where let me think, should I say this correctly? There was a situation where people were under the influence, right?
Yeah.
And this is right when a lot of these scenarios and stories are coming out and women are being vocal about how they feel in these situations. I've had to double back on situations that I believe to be consensual just to make sure. Yeah. Like, I got to double check with you. Like, I realized there was...
But that's great. That's great. Like, that's growth to me.
Yeah. But the response was just like, oh, what? It was great. And I'm just like, all right. But given everything that's going on around you, like you want to make sure that you're not crossing that line.
Okay, can I say something super like outlandish as well? Can I say something?
Please.
This is what this podcast is
about. Okay, so I've heard this from men so much because the work that I do, and like because I'm so vocal, I get met with criticism, which absolutely, and I'm here for it.
Okay.
So men often say, especially when I'm teaching college students, they'll always be like, well, you know, I don't even know what to do anymore because she's going to lie on me and da-da. I'm like, okay. The thing of it is that, and again, it's totally, and I didn't mean to sound like rude, like
No,
about
you're
a
good.
man.
No, you're good. You're good. Speak freely.
Yeah. So what I mean is that so many men get away with it, like get away with like raping women. I shouldn't have said that word. I'm sorry. The SA word, they get away with these kind of behaviors.
Right.
I mean, look at the jail rates for a predator versus drug time. Right. I mean, it's absolutely insane, whether even they get on trial, whatever. And so I think like so many men are like, I'm afraid to be called the R word. I'm afraid to be called this, which is totally valid. But you need to be afraid because the violence against women is disgusting. It's at a disgusting rate. 1 out of 3 women, and that's people that report. Yeah, 1 out of 3 women. That's an epidemic.
If you're truly afraid of it, then you're going to take extra precaution to make sure that there's no confusion in that.
For sure.
Yes.
And that's where the kind of, all right, I met a girl at a bar and we went home and we slept together. That's a tricky situation.
Yeah.
I personally will tell all my friends, sleep on it. Don't.
Listen. I have a friend of mine that's close to me. He met a girl. Everything was cool. Everything was great.
Yeah.
They had consensual sex, right? There were witnesses enough to know that this happened consensually, right? The next thing you know, once the situation doesn't go a way that she wants it to, she's threatening my man's, saying that he raped her.
Yeah.
And I remember we were out kicking it. Shorty shows up. We treated him like the Secret Service. We out. Nope. Put the beer down. Fuck the game. We out. We're not staying here. We're not kicking it. We're not giving that person an opportunity to feel a way, to say anything, to do anything. We moved like that for a while. We're not laughing about the situation. There's other sound effects going on. But how he got a chance to be vulnerable with me because I'm his guy. But he's just like, bro, this shit is wild. Yeah. Like, all this was consensual. Yeah. And it's like, how now we don't want to be involved in any situation that can make anybody feel uncomfortable. No, we absolutely do not.
Right, absolutely. And I think, obviously someone who lies, and again, no matter what the crime, if you're lying on somebody's character, that's absolutely wrong. But I'm saying the percentage of women that lie,
without a doubt,
and the percentage of men that are perpetrating is just crazy. So it's like, to me, it's like always the conversation of, well, women lie. And I'm just like, but it's never the conversation of how am I going to hold my man's accountable for this behavior? And I think, so, I totally understand. And I think we see a lot of women, quote unquote, lie in the media because it's money, right? Like a lot of people that we're talking about, celebrities, major celebrities that are lying. And again, I quote unquote lie because I believe people. Number one, I believe people. Now, if you wrong me and you lie, then that's totally different. But
I think that when you hear the details of stories, you can kind of figure out more or less. Now, granted, there's some stories that are going to sound so real or so fake, but and they're opposite.
We
get the details and like, okay, that doesn't.
Yeah, and it's like you weren't in the room.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's the thing. I completely agree with the fact that the way that women are abused is egregious, 1,000%, right? But then there has been an overcorrection, right, to make sure that women are protected. I'm fully with that. Within that overcorrection, there was an effect on other men. Yeah. So that was kind of the only space that I was speaking to, was just like, it's way over here. No, fuck that. We need to bring it over here.
I always relate it to race because I think it's like really important to like, for instance, right?
Are you getting racial with us right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm a white person that don't like white people. So it's really interesting.
Gang.
Yes. So
Give me a bomb or something, nigga. Damn. I respect.
I didn't mean. You know what I mean. I don't.
Of course.
Yes, of course. I do. I like white people. I just meant like I don't like the system that it's
Right.
built on. So what I mean, I always relate this to race. So we're in a situation right now where police brutality, and it's a racial. I would say it's a war right now. It's a war.
Sure.
So when we talk, like I said, when we talk about these issues, when we talk about like men almost finally have to be accountable, like we're scared of being accused.
Right.
It's like these white tears, like, oh my gosh, blue lives matter. And you're just like, bro, like everybody cares. We already care about you guys. Like we need to care about this other group who are being killed in the streets.
Exactly.
That
So
is a
like,
fair comparison.
yeah. So that's what I say. The same thing is like, as a white person right now, I'm going to have to be uncomfortable. Because there are conversations right now, like I need to be accountable to my own privilege, and I have to be uncomfortable to make it equal for everyone.
And as men, we have to be accountable.
Can we
Period.
Can we get a round of applause for everything that she just did?
Yes.
That was good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so I feel the same way about men right now, is that it is absolutely valid
Yeah.
that you feel nervous about the consent and
Right.
that someone's going to lie on you. 100%.
You should be. That's how you should
Yeah.
carry yourself going forward.
But you should also take extra caution to make sure that you don't have to spend as much time worrying about it.
Exactly.
And I want to point out something that you said in a podcast. And I was like, oh, that was so smart. So he was like, when you're penetrating, when you're the person who's penetrating, that's what you said, I believe, correct?
Is that it?
You
didn't say beat it down?
Yo,
I believe it was
I'm gonna let her
penetrating.
get the whole statement out first before I claim it or
I'm
not.
sorry.
I'm sorry. We stopped to penetrate. This is really bad. So when you're the person doing the act, I should say, right?
Okay,
so
sure.
maybe I'm saying that's not a go. Okay, so when you're
Okay, I know exactly the dominant person on top.
yes, when
Yeah.
you are the person doing the act, whatever the act is, when you are doing it to that other person, so that means, right, a woman absolutely is doing things to the other person. You need to ask for consent, and you need to make sure that that person is fully capable of saying yes and making decisions.
Right.
So, and I was saying, I saw this online, so you know it's true.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. So when you want to do things to men's butts, they know what consent is.
Give me a bomb.
Yeah.
No, I said a bomb.
And again, I'm not gonna out myself or whatever like that, but I'm saying what I'm saying is when you are about to do something to a man's butt, he suddenly knows what consent is. He's like, no, don't do that. Like, right, or whatever.
It's funny because this has been a topic online for a little bit.
Oh man. Pegging.
Or not even pegging.
I got
not even pegging.
questions.
Not even pegging. I'm just saying,
got
do
questions.
anything to their butt.
Men
Make it real
tighten up.
sensitive then.
They
Yeah,
do.
And they
literally.
want to know 100% sure that you are consenting. Like I am not consenting to this.
Right. That's true.
So y'all
know what consent
it
is.
violates
Yeah.
their masculinity.
Yeah,
It makes them feel away.
Right, but I'm saying
But they learn what in
how
that
they respond
situation
to it.
consent means something.
Yes.
No,
Of
I understand
course.
what you're saying.
And again, I'm totally generalizing. That was just a funny thing that I
no,
heard.
that is a great comparison.
Yes.
And
the girl is the one doing the act.
Right.
consent is so important because it saves all of the conversations, all the tough conversations that you have to have.
Man, look,
on a regular basis.
it doesn't even have to be as uncomfortable as it sounds.
You can be
because
smooth with it.
You can be. That's the only problem. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, you still want this?
Right.
He's gonna say yes or no.
Do you like
Wait,
this?
is that your go-to?
It was the eyes for me. It was the eyes for me.
You still want this?
Nah, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
What you
That's
say?
a lie. That's not what I
No,
said.
now I want to know what he said.
Nah, I'm not telling you my lines, brother.
Okay.
Get your own, man.
No, but like you were saying, like, do you like this?
Yeah.
If they're like giving you a face, you're gonna
Yeah.
be like, oh, maybe not. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So you should be saying that. I mean, you first of all, you should be talking. If you're quiet, you guys need some.
Bro,
Yeah.
and to be real with you, you can even turn it into, to be real with you, I'm a sarcastic guy. People know that about my
Yes.
personality. I use the whole contract thing and whatnot. Man, y'all think I be playing. I do not. I literally say, I will send a text message. I've sent pictures. I've typed out things on fucking paper. Y'all think I'm playing? I am not.
This is the one time where I'm not going to clown you for the contracts.
Because it's real.
But
in that area.
Wait, you have wait, back up. You have a contract for like a sexual encounter?
Just relationships, period.
I have, but just in relationships, whatever that relationship is, but on a joking situation, it's just like, hey, I've said like, hey, do you consent to being physically pleasured throughout this entire evening from the time of 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., however that may endure. Signs right on the dotted line.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys think like we joke about it, but I've done that for real in real life.
Oh, I know.
With real women. And it's, to be real with you, even though it comes off as a joke, I still make it clear that it's just like, I just want you to be aware of what you are getting yourself involved in at this specific fucking time.
But I think like also like, right, we want to have sex with people that want to have sex with us. So it's like,
bruh,
I think I think that's like, that's what I try to tell like college kids and stuff like that. I'm just like, if you have to finesse a woman, or if a woman has to finesse a man into having sex with them, maybe you shouldn't have sex with them, because there's plenty of people that want to have sex with you. So like, don't even like, you know what I mean? And mind
you,
you,
put all this extra effort into it, wizardry, dropping shit in drinks.
And I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable.
And I think
I don't want to do something to your butt if you don't want to.
Please don't. So I think it gets really weird and uncomfortable, because when you're in the moment, people feel like, well, I was passionate. No. Sometimes you got to zone yourself the fuck out of that passion, because
really
the consequences of your actions may be far more damaging
than you're ready to deal with
to yourself and the other person.
For sure.
But I mean, you guys have all been, I'm assuming here, but you've been in a situation where someone went cold on you during an intimate moment, and you immediately, like, I'm immediately like, oh my God, is everything okay? Are you okay?
Are you? That's the most common question to ask.
I have,
especially when you just start
having
sex.
Literally right before, and shit just started changing.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, pants back on. It's like, all right, I'll take you on.
Yeah,
and again, I want to say this for people, because I think, again, when you are a woman and you've experienced trauma, not just a woman, a man too, if you've experienced some sort of trauma in your life as a child or whatever, because so many people have, there is situations where you may feel like a trauma in a sexual situation.
And you just don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, and so that's another thing, where it's like, you don't want to re-traumatize somebody because they might be going through something.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry.
Happy thoughts.
Yes.
Happy thoughts.
Yeah. Sorry. I start thinking, because like I said, I do this all the time. I talk about this all the time. So I gotta be mindful as well.
I'm actually really appreciative of it, because we do make a lot of jokes here. We do talk a lot from a men's perspective.
We are a misogynistic podcast.
No, you guys, honestly, can I say that? You guys, like, seriously?
Yeah, you were in the middle of giving us compliments, and then Zach was like, yeah, man.
No, I really... I'm about to spit some facts.
Okay.
No, I think you guys are so great. And like I said, I think you're really mindful. And I think that's all it has to be. Everybody's going to say things wrong. Like I said, I'm a white person. I'm going to absolutely say things wrong. About certain things that maybe that's not my perspective. So you guys are really mindful of you'll say something, and then you guys will be like, well, yeah, maybe we got to think about it like this. And like, that's all it has to be.
That's love. I can say I genuinely appreciate that.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that text message yet from anybody.
Oh, really?
I have.
Really?
You
guys are super mindful, and I really appreciate it.
That's wild as hell. Well, I appreciate you.
Well, we do want to make sure, like I think what happened with this podcast is maybe not necessarily what we initially intended it to be is what it is now, but it is for a lot of women. It is a perspective into male psyche and how we think about things.
Thanks.
And it kind of gives women an open book to figure out, okay, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
And I don't know for sure, but sometimes it gives closure.
It's not solely just to get our shit off, but it's really, like you said, it's to provide the perspective.
As therapeutic as it is sometimes for us, it's not just for us to get
I be trying to get my shit off. So, but no, you're right.
No, and I was, so like from my perspective, so like being what I call myself, a radical feminist, right? Being a radical feminist is a turnoff for most men, right? So because
we don't know what it means.
Because
we don't know what it means.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there's examples
I've
on
dated
the internet.
feminists. I've dated feminists.
There's examples on the internet that don't show it to be the most kindest of things.
Yeah, it's equality for everyone.
Quick question.
Equality for everyone.
Time out. What is your definition of mansplaining?
Oh Lord. Yeah, so it's when a man thinks and again, this is my definition. Okay. When a man thinks that I don't know what I'm talking about, so they have to explain it to me in a dehumanizing way.
Okay, I respect that.
Does that make, maybe not dehumanizing, or like they're talking down to me?
Okay, follow-up question.
Yes.
If I'm trying to just give you some information, can that easily be categorized as mansplaining? Even though, like, you're really just trying to be helpful. I'm not trying to make you feel. Mm-hmm. Does that happen? Yeah,
I mean, I think with everything, like when you coin this term,
you can apply it to anything.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's the same thing as gaslighting.
Okay. It took me a while to catch on.
Yeah, gaslighting. So it's like, I mean, the same thing is like, it's all perspective. Because you may not be doing that to me, but
I feel that way.
Yeah, no. And again, it's hard to say because again, there's some women who don't call themselves a feminist. And I'm like, you're against yourself. I don't get it. But or I don't see how you don't see that. Mm-hmm. Just like I said, just the same as there's black people who are like Blue Lives Matter, and you're just like, what? Like,
okay. So when you put it like that, that helps me better.
We have words for those.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I mean. So it's like, so not all women feel the same way. But I think, like I said, I think a mansplaining too is a lot in the workplace. Because they're in positions of power. They maybe didn't deserve that, deserve their position, and then they're gonna talk to me like I don't know what I'm talking about. And I said, especially with this topic of consent. I mean, I went to school for this. I do this for a living, and there's people who mansplain to me like I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just like, well, I do this.
That's gonna be the
I've seen it. I've absolutely seen it. I know what you're talking about.
But you could, I mean, you could be mansplained by a woman, I guess, if that you can't, but I mean, you know what I mean, there's a form of power there,
right? I get.
Does that make it's like when a man calls a woman the B word, that's more disrespectful than a woman calling me the B word, because you're in a position of power.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And again, not every woman feels that way, but I'm saying it's the same way with the N word or anything like that.
Yeah, I was gonna make that parallel. Yo.
Wow.
We can bleep
flag. All right.
I'm sorry.
Said a lot of flags too, though. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. No, that was my fault.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where were we going?
We're actually, I wanted her to give a definition of extreme feminist.
Yeah, so okay, I throw that radical word in there because it's a form of activism, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. That just means I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna be proud of it. I'm going to be in your face about it. That's just what we call like women that don't want to be, I don't know, quieted.
Quiet about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, feminism to me is it's a form. It's equality for everyone. So that means social justice issues as well.
Okay.
And intersectional feminism, right, is like, I'm sorry if I'm boring you. This is like so exciting to me.
I'm learning.
Intersectional feminism means that you're encompassing all women, because a lot of the feminist movement has been started by white women and did not include women of color.
Wow.
In that discussion. So yeah, feminism is just equality for all, but it is on the basis that women are not equal as of now.
That's still kind of
so we need to uplift women to make equity.
You got to get equality and then get equality.
And I said equity. Yeah. You have to uplift. We have to uplift women right now because we don't have equality.
You're not wrong at all.
Yeah.
You're not wrong at all.
I'm all for equality.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
It's hard. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but I'm gonna try.
I'm a positive thinker. I think I might not live to see it. But,
but it's like we get there. Yeah,
you hope so.
We're on the good side of history.
Okay, quick question. How do you feel about? There's this thing going around. I won't say a thing. There is a lot of people feel like women are more so on the upswing when it comes to just career wise, money wise, everything that's going on with how that structure works.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel great. No, I'm just kidding. So I wanted to say something about my perspective as well, and that's going to touch on that. Like, so basically, like, for me, it's really difficult just because you are a woman who's independent and makes her own money and all this stuff, doesn't mean you don't want a partner, and you still want things that are problematic. Does that make sense?
You still want some toxic love?
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So Season was right.
No.
I'm kidding.
You were absolutely right on some things, but I think what I mean is that we're not like, we are absolutely still a part of society, and
Right.
we still like fall into these traps, and I do it to myself as well. Because like I said, it's hard to be a strong woman who's very vocal about this and then date men, because I'm like, you're mansplaining, you're doing this, this is a red flag.
I'm curious.
And
I'm
men
so curious.
hate that, and they should.
And I'm curious on how this works. How do you find balance in that?
Oh, it's so difficult for me.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's all it is that her standards
Do you hear
are
my
set.
pain?
Her standards are set higher, and she needs a man that is well aware of who he is and
Yeah.
what he is
A
and what
high
he has
value
done.
man.
Honestly, she needs
I'll
somebody
find
that's
them out
been-
here. I
that's-
can't find
that's
them.
had
I'm just
therapy.
totally
Jolie-
joking.
It's Joliet. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I'm not in Joliet's pool. I am
that's
not
fair.
in Joliet's pool at
That's
all.
fair. That's
yeah.
fair. Jump out of that. It's a kiddie pool.
It just
Yeah.
it's
The
it,
kids
it
peeing.
takes
Yeah.
you just, and this goes on both sides. If you want, I'm trying to be mature, damn it.
That was good. That was really good.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying.
You need to
I'm
find a partner that is as self-aware as you are.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah.
And in certain areas, it's harder than others.
Yeah.
No kidding. No kidding.
I don't like, it's even hard. Like, a lot of I studied women and gender studies in school, and a lot of my professors are like, don't tell that to people on the first date. Don't do it, because it's a total buzzkill, which is so sad. But again, mind you, if maybe that's good that I tell him on a first date and then he walks away, because that's what I need, somebody to walk away.
If you tell him on the first date and he stays, it's like, all right.
At least he knows what he got himself into.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
But I've had a lot of men say that they're okay with it, and then like when I start opening my mouth, it's like a different thing. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm a lot.
Not
Really?
everybody knows what it entails, though.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
True. And I think people are trying to, like, when somebody tells me that, it's just like, okay, well, I know what the internet shows me, but it's like,
You hate all men.
yeah, but it's like, and I see that you're if I can see you're halfway decent enough to actually try to date you, then I might be curious. Like, what y'all really be talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that's
But also,
interesting.
it's knowing yourself. You say, I'm a lot. So
Yeah.
you understand. It's like, okay, I'm tough to deal with. I know I'm not the
Yeah.
easiest to deal with. My wife hates me sometimes.
Right.
And I know that I know that I deserve it from time to time.
She loves you, man, and you care nothing, bro. You're the best. Never mind.
Let's not make this that.
Ah,
But I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Sometimes I am annoying as shit because
Yeah.
I'm so aggressive with how I feel about things.
Ooh.
facts. It's so
Ooh.
But I'm passionate.
And,
course,
and
as you should be.
well, no, but I love that you guys communicate, because I overly communicate as well. Like,
It's necessary.
I'm annoying though. I'm annoying.
Listen.
When you are like that, it's necessary to be communicative.
Yeah.
You end up in a lot of when you over communicate, you feel stupid a lot. I can
Lord.
say that.
Thank you for saying that. That
No,
was really
and I'm not
resonated with me.
And I'm not saying
No, I'm dead
no,
serious.
but it's something that doesn't get talked about a lot. A lot of times, like it's a LOL or people laugh. It's like, yo, chill out, bro. You're good. It's just like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, because you're over communicative, like you're trying to make sure.
Or sometimes you open your mouth and be like, we didn't need to have this conversation, did we?
How bad does my ego hurt when people are like, you've said enough? Like we're running circles, and I'm just like, but I'm not finished.
No, I had 5 more points actually.
Yeah, but I'm similar in that way, and it's just like, no, I get what you're saying. No, trust me, I get
Yeah.
it. Like, I get it,
Yeah.
and it's like, my bad. I'm just trying to make sure, because as a man, I've been on the opposite side where I've been told I don't talk enough, I don't share anything, I'm secretive, I keep all these different things. I'm a
Yeah.
jaded soul. Forgive me.
I've been told that too.
But
Long ago.
But then when I start communicating,
Yeah.
that also backfires. Like there's difficult struggle.
But it's the right partner.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. It's the right partner.
Yeah. But I want to say too, I was like in the previous podcast when you guys were talking about this, I definitely think that I'm gonna announce this as me, not all women, okay? But
Accountability, people.
I definitely don't let men make mistakes.
Oh.
Drop a bomb. No, I'm trying to be ass. I'm totally kidding.
I was about to wrap this up, but I need you to expound on this.
I was totally kidding with the bomb thing, but yeah, like I don't let them make mistakes because, like I said, I'm 150% defensive. Like I'm so defensive because I feel like with men that I've experienced in my life that if I let them do something, they're going to take a mile.
Interesting.
So if you don't hold them accountable for the small slip up, you feel like that's just opening the door for the big slip up, and then you can't contain it after that.
I can respect it.
And it's also like being this like strong, like, oh, I don't need a man type person. It's like I have to be true. Like it's like I feel kind of like if I let this man slide, what is that going to say about me as a strong, independent woman?
Yourself to the same standard that. It's a holding thing. Like,
yeah, and it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing when this man out here treating me like shit.
Are you block him and he didn't call you back?
Period. No, that hurts my ego. But
okay.
No, but I mean, it's just embarrassing. I think, and that's my own, problem. But it's like being a strong, independent woman, speaking out against this stuff, and then I'm doing it. Like speaking out against toxic men, and then I'm over here like crying over this man.
Crazy, right?
Relationships are supposed to be about respect.
Yeah.
And if you cannot respect your own relationship, then that's already a red flag right there.
Facts.
So I can understand from the standpoint. I mean, I hope like him leaving the toilet seat up isn't the mistake. But yeah, I can understand
that could be it.
And making a
Girl.
mistake
That could be the start. That could turn your whole house upside fucking down.
But the mistake that disrespects the relationship, those are the mistakes you don't accept, no matter how minor. Because it's like, okay, you're going to make me look stupid, and if I forgive you, then what else am I allowing you to do?
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
And I can understand that. I respect that.
I agree.
But I think I think my senses are heightened because I'm like I said, I deal with.
You see it regularly,
right?
And it's
I deal
not
with
even
a lot
associated with you directly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I deal with a lot of trauma. So when I hear women be like, "This is what they started doing," and then I'm like looking at him like, "Man, you did that. You do something like that."
So no man is getting away with anything. That's very real.
I know, but that's. Thank you for pointing that out. Everybody knows. No, appreciate that for all my love interest. But I think I definitely think that. I think I'm the worst, like when it comes to that, because I make mistakes and I want to be forgiven.
Wow.
So it's, I think this is a problematic thing for me, for sure. And I think the reason I'm saying is because I think a lot of strong, and I'm not saying I'm like, oh, I'm strong. I mean, like a lot of independent women, like who feel this way, probably feel the same way of like, it is hard to date in this day and age. And I think you said that too. And it's hard to date and
say that shit every day. That shit is like trying to go grocery shopping during a zombie fucking apocalypse, bro. That shit is
dodging.
It's crazy. And it's just like, bro, this shit's on the shelf. It's expired. Like they took all the good stuff. Like it's rough. Mm-hmm. Find yours and get out of the fucking game. Find yours.
All right. So
get out of the game.
This has been an incredibly enjoyable experience, Amanda.
Thank you for being so vulnerable.
I got you.
Did you want to give the people your socials or any kind of website for insight?
I swear to God, I don't even know my social. I think it's Amanda_CARI 91. I believe that is correct.
We'll try to find a way to tag her on social media for the next upcoming episodes.
I'll get better at that.
Like I said, it's really like it's not like I'm, on social media like for that. So that's totally okay.
Question: are your DMs open for anybody who might be viewing this?
Oh my God. Yes.
Why did you? All right.
I am totally kidding. No, like I said, you don't want this in your life.
Hey, some people might. Just curious.
I'm totally kidding.
Because if they don't hit her DMs, they're gonna hit yours. Ask.
Hey, look, I'm not entertaining.
I am sure I do not have a fan club. I'm sure
yourself,
of it,
gentlemen.
No, I
do
not have a fan club of
if
that.
I haven't made it clear already, I do not answer to anybody's DMs. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, it's hard for you to answer mine. It's crazy.
After we just got me talking like I don't let men do anything. You're like flood the DMs like crickets in there. Like it is a ghost town.
Well, I'm sure that won't last forever for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hope not. We hope that you continue to work on yourself and find that balance that you need.
Yeah. No, and I'm good on my own. I'm out here thriving. So
Gang.
thank you.
So, all right, guys, this has been episode 38.
I think maybe of the Gentlemen's Club podcast. We're coming right back to you really fucking soon.
Hey. Oh my God, I said so many